Nestled on the outskirts of the sleepy town of Ravenswood, St. Agnes Hospital stood as a looming, weathered structure with a dark history. For over a century, it had borne witness to the suffering of countless patients, some of whom had never left its halls alive. Local legends whispered of the hospital's sinister past, but those stories were often dismissed as the stuff of superstition, until the night Emily and John arrived. Emily was a compassionate nurse, dedicated to her profession, and John was a curious journalist, always seeking the next big story. When Emily's job led her to St. Agnes Hospital, she couldn't help but feel a strange pull to the place. She shared her unease with John, who saw it as the perfect opportunity to investigate the hospital's haunted reputation. The couple checked into the aging inn in Ravenswood and spent the evening researching the hospital's history. They discovered tales of experimental treatments gone horribly wrong, patients who had mysteriously vanished, and nurses who had reported eerie encounters with restless spirits. The more they learned, the more intrigued they became. On a moonless night, they ventured to St. Agnes Hospital. Its crumbling facade loomed before them, partially hidden by overgrown trees and the encroaching darkness. The hospital's interior was a maze of dimly lit hallways, peeling wallpaper, and the lingering scent of antiseptic. As Emily and John explored the hospital, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows danced at the edges of their vision, and the echo of distant footsteps reverberated through the hallways. The air grew heavy with an unseen presence. They began their investigation in the long-abandoned psychiatric ward, where the most disturbing stories were said to originate. The rooms were filled with decaying furniture and tattered restraints, and the walls were adorned with the faded artwork of former patients. Emily, holding a digital recorder, asked the spirits to make their presence known. The room grew colder, and the recorder crackled with static. Eerie whispers filled the air, telling tales of torment and despair. Emily felt a chill run down her spine, but she refused to be deterred. Meanwhile, John set up cameras to capture any paranormal activity. He couldn't help but feel a mounting sense of dread as he reviewed the footage, where shadowy figures seemed to move in the background. Their investigation continued into the early hours of the morning, as they delved deeper into the hospital's secrets. Doors slammed shut on their own, and ghostly apparitions appeared and disappeared before their eyes. The hospital seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy, as if the tortured souls of the past sought retribution. Exhausted and unnerved, Emily and John decided to take a break in one of the hospital's darkened corridors. As they sat in the dim light, a sudden, blood-curdling scream echoed through the hallway. It was a sound that was not of this world, a wail of agony and despair. With hearts pounding, they followed the sound to its source, a small, locked room at the end of the corridor. Emily, driven by her nursing instincts, tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. John, using all his strength, managed to force the door open. Inside, they found a room filled with broken furniture and an old, rusted gurney. But the source of the scream remained a mystery. They searched the room, their flashlights illuminating the darkness, until they stumbled upon an old wooden cabinet. As they opened it, they were met with a sight that would haunt their nightmares for years to come. A decomposed, mangled corpse that had been locked away and forgotten. The discovery sent shockwaves of horror through Emily and John, who had unknowingly released a restless spirit from its prison. The malevolent entity, once confined to the room, now roamed the hospital with a thirst for vengeance. It appeared before them, its form twisted and contorted, and a chorus of agonized whispers filled the air. Emily and John were paralyzed with fear as the entity drew closer. Desperate to escape, they ran through the darkened corridors of the hospital, pursued by the vengeful spirit. Doors slammed shut behind them, and the very walls seemed to close in. They could feel the entity's icy breath on their necks, and its chilling voice echoed in their minds, promising eternal torment. Just as they reached the hospital's entrance, a blinding light filled the hallway, and the entity screeched in agony. They stumbled out into the moonlit night, gasping for breath, and turned to see the hospital consumed by an otherworldly fire. The flames roared and consumed the building, the malevolent entity trapped within its fiery embrace. As the hospital crumbled to ash and embers, The tortured souls of the past were finally released from their torment. Emily and John, their hearts heavy with the horrors they had witnessed, vowed never to return to St. Agnes Hospital. They had uncovered a darkness that was beyond comprehension, a malevolence that had festered for centuries and would haunt them for the rest of their lives. And so, St. Agnes Hospital remained a scorched ruin, a testament to the horrors that had unfolded within its walls. Its sinister reputation would endure, a warning to those who dared to seek out the mysteries of the past, a warning that some secrets are better left buried in the darkness.